I wanted to take a moment today to talk about some issues that you might see in your email occasionally. And so right now I'm showing a message on the screen, and you can see where you have in a red font it says Mailscanner has detected a possible fraud attempt. And I've been asked this question a number of times, so I want to talk about why that happens. So it's helpful to know a little bit about how our email works. Down here we have UNH Exchange, which is a mail environment, and that's what everyone within Extension is on, and that's where we're using Outlook. When we send an email message to each other, it stays within this cloud and never goes anywhere else. If a message is sent to you from the internet, so any other mail server outside of the Exchange environment, the first thing it does is it goes through a server called sysunix, and sysunix runs a program called Mailscanner that takes a look at this email before it forwards it on to you. And in that process, if it sees something that it thinks is a little bit fishy, it may give you a warning message, and that's why you're seeing it. So just to show you an example, if I send a message from outside of Extension, I may see this error or this warning. But if I send it from my Exchange account to my Exchange account and it's never gone through the sysunix mail scanner, I'm not going to see that same type of message. So this is the same email message as the other one. I don't see a warning, but if I come over here I see a warning. So let's talk about what that actual possible fraud attempt means. And really what Mailscanner is doing is it's looking at two things. It's looking at the link, the URL that a link points to, and the text that's being used with that URL. So in my first example, I typed out UNH Cooperative Extension website and then linked it to our homepage, and I don't get a warning message. In the second link, I typed out extension.unh.edu and then hyperlinked it to the URL extension.unh.edu. So they match, and you can see that there's no warning on that. In my bad link example, I typed out happyface.com, but my link points to evilsite.com. As you can see both in the when I hover over the URL, but also here in the warning, it's saying that's a possible fraud attempt. So what's happening is when this email, which came from my Gmail account, gets to the sysunix web server, Mailscanner is run on it, and it rewrites it to put in this warning message. And the reason it does that is you might get an email and just say, oh, well, that's my bank, bankofamerica.com, and go to click on it. But if that really goes to a phishing site or a Russian hacker site, it would be bad news. So that's why this happens. The reason it's important to note is that when you send out mass email through a service like Constant Contact will often rewrite the URL that things point to so that it can capture data on who clicked on the link. And that's why when you go into your Constant Contact panel, you may be able to see some statistics about links that were clicked on. So what will happen is if I write out extension.unh.edu and send this out through Constant Contact actually takes that link and will rewrite it to its own site, which then forwards on to extension.unh.edu. However, the Mailscanner is going to see that as a possible fraud attempt. So the best thing that you can do is actually use text and then hyperlink to the site that you want to from the text, because then you won't get the Mailscanner warning. Where you'll get the warning is if you type out a URL and the actual link, so we can see when I hover over it, you can see the link showing up. The actual link that shows up will, if it's different than the text that I typed, I will get this Mailscanner has detected a possible fraud attempt warning. Thank you, and if you have any questions, please let me know.